everyone. Thank you again for visiting Indie Dave's Comics. I, of course, am Indie Dave. I picked up this comic. I'm not really familiar with X-O Manowar, and I'm starting on this one, which is issue number 10. And good lord, this thing is a doozy. I'm not really familiar with the story. I know that X-O Manowar has been around forever. The quality on the comic itself, excuse me, is just amazing. The art for this particular issue, I started at issue 10. The art here is just, it's all painted. And it is just crazy. Renato Guedes, I'm sure I'm completely butchering that name, is the artist on this book. And first of all, it does something interesting that you don't see on a whole lot of, well, I don't think I've ever seen it. The front cover is just solid. It's a solid book all around. But on the inside of the front cover is where the story actually begins. It doesn't start on this first page. It starts right there on that cover. The story, basically, this begins with this guy, whose name is Ron, R-A-W-N, breaking some of his buddies out of prison. Basically, they're intergalactic or space bounty hunters hired to do a job. He breaks them out of prison, destroys a planet to break another friend out of prison. His backstory, it goes into his backstory a little bit. There's these just giant animals that they used to harvest for food, like ticks. They would get up on them, cut off pieces of meat, essentially, and that's how they'd eat. That's how his tribe would eat. He did that since he was a kid. And then one day, as he was on one of these giant animals, he met someone else who found a way, instead of acting like ticks, would actually plant an explosive on these things and would kill them. And nobody thought that these things could be killed to begin with. So they became friends and became bounty hunters together. That's the one who he destroyed a whole planet just to save that one guy from prison. They've been hired. This whole story is about, or this particular issue is about basically him getting the band back together because they've been hired for a mission, and that mission is to kill Eric, who is the X-O Manowar armor wearer, the main character in the book. You never see him in this particular issue because it's really all about them getting the bounty hunter team back together and showing the kinds of extremes that they do to get their jobs done. Again, they brought down an entire moon on a planet just to get one guy out of prison. So this whole issue, with this just gorgeous art, this whole issue is all about them getting together to complete their mission. Issue 11, Issue 11 goes into what's going on, who this guy is, Eric, that they've been hired to kill, or to capture. Eric wears the armored suit and is basically emperor of this planet. But there's so much going on between the races on the planet and natural disasters and all kinds of stuff that basically everyone thinks he's a failure as an emperor. So everybody has turned against him. All of his friends, everybody on the planet has turned against him. And these bounty hunters have been hired to come and take him out so that someone else could rule, or they can rule themselves, or they could go over another option. They fight him in his armor, which is, I guess it's a living armor, and it covers him up and gives him special powers. He's already a great fighter. He's a Visigoth from Earth, and he's already a great fighter, and the armor only enhances that. These are the bounty hunters now, there to pick him up. I liken the story to sort of a John Carter meets Conan type of deal, I would guess. It would be the closest. It's a sci-fi story. It's very well written. The art for the second one is different from, or the art for number 11 is different from the art for number 10. But it's still pretty good. The comic's $4, and you're definitely getting $4 worth of comic. The paper is really high quality. I usually don't like to go into the quality of what makes the book. I prefer to go into the story and art and stuff, but you really can't get over just what you're getting on this. This is a solid. It should almost be like a trade paperback type of thing. It's that good. But again, the story's pretty good. If you like good sci-fi, if you like kind of, like I said, I liken it to Conan, but I haven't read more than these 2 issues. I would definitely recommend this just for issue 10, which is really just an amazing comic. Totally blew me away. If you're in the market and you're looking at indie comics, Valiant may or may not, to some, be considered an indie because they have a whole universe. They've been around since the 90s. But definitely, if you're looking for some good sci-fi, pick up X-O Manowar. If you like this reviews, hit me up on Twitter at IndieDaveComics with an X. You can also find me on Facebook at IndieDave, and Instagram also at IndieDave. Thank you for watching, and have a good day.
Please hang up and try again.